Welcome. We start this bulletin with news coming in from the embattled Tigray region, where thousands of Ethiopian Federal Government prisoners of war were paraded by their captors. Now, the prisoners, who are closely guarded by the Tigrayan forces, can be heard chanting slogans such as "We are Abi soldiers" and "Stop ethnic abuse." However, the visuals currently on your screen cannot ascertain if the prisoners were mistreated or if they were chanting slogans from their own free will. Meanwhile, in a bid to protect the city from advancing Tigrayan soldiers, women in Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa are being asked to join the Home Guard. Apart from this, some of them have also started setting up roadblocks, further checking cars and pedestrians for weapons.
ፍተሻ በአጠቃላይ አስፈላጊና አስፈላጊ ነው መሆኑን እኛ ሴቶች እናምናለን። ስለዚህ ይሄን በማመን ነው ሌሎቹም እንዲያደርጉ ነው ፍጥረታችን ሌሎቹም ፍተሻ እንዲያደርጉ እናበረታታለን። ለምን ይሄ ፍተሻ ሲደረግ ጸጉረ ልውውጥ እዚህ ስር እንደሚገኝ ደግሞ አንጠራጠርም።
Meanwhile, in a bid to protect the city from advancing Tigrayan soldiers, the women have been asked to join the Home Guard. And on the other hand, there are scores of women who are coming together supporting the war effort by donating money and food.
እንግዲህ ባቅማችን ደግሞ አገሩ ሰላም ነው ብለን ባቅማችን ለመከላከያ ምናምን እየሰራን በሶ ደሙም እየነገሰን የብሩም ደግሞ እርዳታ እያደረገን በዚህ እንኖራለን ብለን ድጋፍ እናደርጋለን ብለን እናስባለን።
Meanwhile, Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said that he will go himself to the front line to face the rebels. The year-long conflict with rebels from Tigray region has led to a humanitarian crisis, with hundreds facing famine-like conditions in the north. Now we are being joined by WION correspondent Coletta Wanjohi from Addis Ababa for more on this story. Good evening to you. What is the latest from the ground? Which way is the situation headed in Ethiopia?
Well, what we know for now is that the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, as of today, as he announced hours ago, he has led his own military and said that he's going to the front line to lead this war against the Tigray People's Liberation Front. He says this is a show of solidarity, a show of courage, and a show of a symbol that he is ready to redeem the country from what has been in the past 1 year, a protracted conflict. However, on the other side, we know the United Nations continues to raise concern, as you have said, on the issue of humanitarian access as well as humanitarian issues. They are talking about over 7 million people in the northern region needing assistance, and yet access of these humanitarian issues or humanitarian needs still remains a big issue, especially in the region of Tigray, where over 5 million people, according to the UN, need help. They're saying, according to the UN, UN-supported humanitarian agencies or support, the last time they reached there was around 18th of October. So as the war rages on between the federal government and the TPLF and its affiliate groups, on the other side, the humanitarian situation continues deteriorating.
Right, and Coletta, as you mentioned, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says that he will lead the frontline combat against the rebel forces. Could there still be some hope of negotiations?
Well, we had seen the African Union leading some form of negotiation, some form of mediation, and trying to convince both parties. We saw some shuttle diplomacy here by by the African Union Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, who is the former president of Nigeria, Mr. Olusegun Obasanjo, as well as we saw the United States, sending its own special envoy, Mr. Feltman. We saw some shuttle diplomacy. They both met. Mr. Obasanjo met the government leadership, also met the rebel leadership, and they had said that at least there was a small window of hope. But now, if the Prime Minister says he's going to the front line, then and the other side, the TPLF, has said that they will hold fort and continue pushing forth in order to come to Addis Ababa and oust the Prime Minister, then that means any hope for mediation becomes very slim.
Right, Coletta, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for bringing us all the latest out of Ethiopia.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.